Hello, my name is Muna Husseini. I'm the Chief of Staff to the CTO and the General Manager for the Job Seeker organization. And ultimately, we focus on putting the job seeker first in the features and support that we put on our website. So thank you for joining our stream today. I live in Austin, Texas, where our headquarters are located, and I'm really excited to be here joining y'all today. As you can see, I'm wearing this Indeed shirt. I help people get jobs. It's our mission. We deeply care about it, and we deeply care about all of you who are looking for jobs. We're here to help. And so your comments are what will inform the content we continue to provide week over week. So thank you for asking your questions. Today, I'll be stepping through questions that we provided previously. And so with that said, I think folks are adding in comments, and we'll keep going. As I mentioned earlier, our mission is to help people get jobs. And given the impact of COVID-19, this mission is more important than ever. And so each week we come here to share the most up-to-date job search information and resources we can provide. So before we get started, I have a little housekeeping or disclaimer. The information in this video is for informational purposes only. Indeed is not a career or legal advisor. And this content is on-demand content, so you can come back to this video on Facebook or YouTube if you'd like to review certain parts of what we cover. We'll also put all of the links I share today in the comments or the video descriptions, so you can easily find the information. So starting off, we've made quite a few website updates to make finding a job during COVID-19 faster and easier. This week we have two exciting changes. First, if you're interested in a remote career, but you're not sure what those may be or how to work towards finding one, just go to go.indeed.com/work-from-home. You'll need to click on career advice underneath the career. So let's use interpreter, for example, and you'll be taken to a page where you can see the steps needed to meet those qualifications. Second, our career advice website is now available for Spanish-speaking job seekers in the US. You can find it at indeed.com/orientacion-profesional, or in Spanish, la página web de Indeed para consejos de carrera ya está disponible en español para personas que hablan español que buscan empleo en los Estados Unidos. Lo puedes localizar indeed.com/orientación-profesional. So those are this week's updates to Indeed, but I'll quickly recap some prior changes that may be helpful to you. First, we've made a couple changes to make finding a work-from-home job simpler. Employers who post a job on Indeed can now specify whether that job is fully remote or only remote temporarily due to COVID-19. So if you're looking for a work-from-home job, just put the word remote in the what or where box right there on the Indeed homepage. You can also look next to the location of any job in the search results to see if it includes the phrase remote work available. If it does, check out the full job description for more details on whether the job is fully or temporarily remote. And remember, if you want to receive updates as new remote jobs become available, you can sign up using the term remote in either the what or the where box, and you can decide how frequently you'd like to receive these updates and turn them off at any time. For those that are interested in finding work immediately, you may find the urgent hiring icon and ready to work hashtag useful. The urgent hiring tab allows an employer to signal that they are hiring immediately. So keep an eye out for a reddish clock near the top of a job posting with the words urgently hiring next to it. However, you can signal to an employer that you are ready to work immediately in any position. If you want to do this, go to your Indeed resume by clicking the person icon on the top right-hand corner of your screen and selecting resume. It should be the first option right beneath your email. And you'll see the option to add hashtag ready to work. This allows employers to find and contact you about job opportunities where they are looking for someone to start right away. So those are the updates for this week. But as we're saying, we want to know what's helpful to you. So what else could Indeed do to make finding a job easier? Please let us know down below in the comments. So moving on to the next section, we do want to talk to you about urgently hiring employers. I want to make sure everyone knows about our list of urgently hiring employers, and you can find that list on go.indeed.com/hiring now. This list is updated weekly. So first we have G4S. They're urgently hiring and holding same-day interviews for a range of positions, including security officer and security technician roles in Illinois, in Florida, in California, New York, Michigan, and other states. The next employer is Booz Allen Hamilton. They are holding virtual interviews for software engineers, system engineers, and data scientists in Virginia, in DC, Maryland, California, and a couple other locations. Then we have Kindred Healthcare. They are urgently hiring, and they're holding virtual interviews for a range of registered nurse and certified nursing assistant roles in California, in Illinois, in Pennsylvania, Washington, and elsewhere. Now, their apply to hire process takes 1 week, and that means that it'll be 1 week to interview and hire if they decide you're the right fit. So it's a much quicker process than is standard. Family Dollar is also urgently hiring, and they are holding same-day interviews for customer service representatives, assistant store managers, and they are looking for more roles, including in California, New York, Texas, Florida, and a few other states. Their apply to hire process also takes under 1 week. For the full list, check out the link that's listed below in the comments. And if you would like us to continue sharing these employer updates in the live stream, please let us know. Now, as I move on to job searching, if you decide you want to apply for one of those urgently hiring jobs, here's a quick refresher on how to apply for those jobs. What you'll want to do is start searching and applying for those jobs on Indeed. First, you'll need to create or update your Indeed profile. This makes it easier to apply for jobs quickly. You can browse for jobs by location in the search bar. Once you've identified a potential employer, hit that apply button and follow the instructions from there. Pro tip, make sure you tailor your resume to the specific job you're applying for. One more note on applying to jobs. While you're job searching, it's important to stay safe. So we want you to look out for anyone who's asking you to wire money, or if you receive a check via email from an employer. These are all scams, and you should report them. We want you to let us know about these posts so we can remove them from our site and to continue to protect users like you. So in case you run into any one of these things, a request to wire money, provide a passport, or receive a check, we want you to report it. So what you'll need to do is find that job, click on the job posting, scroll down to the bottom of the job post, select the report job button, and fill out the form to give us a little bit of information on that posting. That report will help us remove the spam, fraud, and those low quality postings to make sure Indeed stays a safer place for you and everyone else. So thank you for your help there. As I move on, I want to talk about COVID-19 and a job market. Let's take a step back and look at the bigger economic picture. Each week, we've received questions asking, how is COVID-19 impacting the job market? If you're interested in learning more about what's happening right now in the US and global job markets, a great resource is https://www.hiringlab.org/, which is run by one of our team Indeed economists, Daniel Culbertson. He says, after going from a nearly 50-year low unemployment rate of 3.5% in February to just over 26 million workers filing for unemployment benefits in the past 5 weeks, it nearly goes without saying that the labor market has shifted dramatically. While the specifics of the economic recovery depend largely on the course of the virus, in the near term, job seekers will almost certainly face a challenging labor market with a high level of competition for what job opportunities will be available. What this communicates to me is just how radically the job market has changed in a matter of months. This speaks to just how much whiplash students who will soon be entering the workforce may be feeling. They thought they were going to enter one of the strongest economies in the US history, and now they're entering a job market in undeniable crisis. So with that context in mind, I want to spend the next few minutes answering some important questions many of you have asked. What should college students entering this challenging COVID-19 economy do? So here is our tip for the week. So I'd like to give y'all a little bit more context. If you're a recent graduate, the spread of the coronavirus has likely impacted your plans. Some people have been searching for jobs, or they're waiting to hear back from employers about their applications, while others may have already accepted an internship, seasonal job, or a full-time job after graduation. But now many are unsure whether these confirmed opportunities are at risk, or whether potential opportunities may be canceled by employers. In a recent Indeed survey, over 1,000 students graduating this year responded. 54% said the coronavirus's impact on the labor market has made them feel less confident in finding work after they graduate, while 33% said they feel they will struggle getting into the industry they're graduating into. Searching for jobs is stressful enough, but now uncertainty about the job market is a challenging new factor. In particular, graduates planning to enter fields like hospitality, retail, food, and technology may have to overcome unexpected obstacles. In the face of all this, try to remember that resources and information are available for you. Above all, take care of yourself, take care of your health and your loved ones during this time. Please follow the CDC for official guidelines and updates on developments for COVID-19. Before I get into my specific advice here, whether or not you are a graduate, if you are financially struggling, consider applying for federal, state, and local relief efforts that are available to you. These may include individual financial aid, food and meal support, community and grassroots efforts, delayed rent and mortgage payments, pausing evictions, and foreclosures. And if you were laid off, consider checking out our last episode, which discussed how to handle unemployment. They can be found on Facebook and YouTube on the Indeed Live playlist. That previous episode explains the additional resources that are available to you if you've lost a job due to COVID-19. That brings me to our tip of the week. If you are a student entering the workforce, strive to be prepared, practical, and flexible. So what does that look like? In my mind, that involves 3 steps. First, reflect on your needs. For many people, the needs are different now than they were a few months ago, and some of these must-haves could be in conflict with prior expectations. You may find that being able to work from home now is a top priority. In some cases, this could mean pivoting industries, considering a contract role, or a different salary than you were expecting. In other cases, you might need to find immediate work. The types of jobs that are open now may be different than what you were expecting a few months ago. Some people may now prioritize jobs with healthcare benefits, while others may seek part-time jobs in order to balance their new childcare schedules. Think about what's important to you and make a full list of what your needs are. Be open to the types of jobs that fulfill them, even if they were different than what you were planning on. The next thing we want you to do is assess your tangible options with an open mind. The range of job postings that you see now might be different than the ones you were looking at a few months ago, so don't box yourself in. Aim to be flexible in 2 key ways. First, remain nimble and open-minded when you're evaluating your skills. The good news here is that graduation is a natural pivot point. Many people are just beginning their careers during this time, so you're not stuck or boxed into what you were doing before. That means you don't need to restrict yourself to a job or an industry Take the time to consider your transferable skills. So what's a transferable skill? It's a hard or soft skill or quality that you may have acquired through a past job, a hobby, or academic experience. When you approach a job search with a skills-first perspective, you may find that you qualify for roles you hadn't previously thought about. Another important way to stay flexible is in the hiring process itself. It's wise to prepare yourself for a different hiring process than you expected. You may be asked to interview virtually. This type of interview can have its own unique set of quirks and challenges. Be ready to adapt to that. It might require finding a quiet place, ensuring that your monitor and your camera are set up, turning off your phone, and ensuring that children or other interruptions like your dog, that they have a safe place to be away from your interview. Your primary form of networking may be through social media. Check out professional interest groups and reach out to your connections to leverage your network. Luckily, this generation of graduates tends to be best equipped to handle these changes, but do consider focusing on building up your online presence and network. And your hiring and onboarding process may also be a bit up in the air or slower than usual, so it can be helpful to know that that may change. So finally, don't be afraid to brag. Lean into what's exceptional about you, your experiences, your skills, the qualities that you think make you the best candidate for the role. Craft your resume with that in mind. Include it in your cover letter and make sure that you're ready to talk about those things during an interview. Advocate for yourself. I know bragging can be hard for some people. Maybe it's not your personality, it's not encouraged in your culture, but no matter what, find a way that's comfortable for you. If you're not sure what to say, ask a friend or a former coworker what they enjoyed about working with you and what you might be able to brag about. It'll help you articulate your value because every manager wants to know, what are you going to do for me? What are you going to bring to the table? And on a final note, no matter what you decide to do, it's important to acknowledge that as a new graduate, you're facing challenges that many people will never experience. I hope you're proud of yourself for facing these challenges, and above all, please do take care of yourself and the people around you as we all navigate this situation together. So now I'm going to pivot and answer some questions. These are all quite related to the previous topic. However, before I do that, I'd like to remind you and ask, what questions can we be answering for you? Do you want more information on work from home jobs, resume advice, or something else? Please let us know below and we will work to answer those questions and see how we can help you. So here's a couple questions we received previously. I am a college student entering the working world. Will leaving school in this circumstance hurt my lifetime earnings? Thank you for that question. It's true, depending on your area of expertise, you may be offered a lower base salary for an entry-level position than you may have planned for. If this is the case, don't feel like you're stuck or you have to resign yourself to a loss of lifetime earnings. Instead, you can take steps to reduce the chances that this base salary will reduce future pay in your chosen path. I'd advise you to keep your options open as your work experience grows and your career develops. Searching for better options and better opportunities in your chosen field can help increase your career mobility, and it can provide leverage in salary negotiations or raise requests. Updating your job alerts, researching competitive salary ranges, and actively networking are simple ways to keep opportunities open. So the short answer is yes, a lower base salary can have an impact on your lifetime earnings, but if you're ready and informed to increase your earning potential in the future, you can mitigate that risk. Also, note that we have an Indeed salary calculator, and you might find that helpful. The tool provides a free salary range estimate based on your job title, your location, and your experience level. So moving on to the next question. Should students go back to school in order to avoid entering this labor market? This is a question we see a lot, and it's very understandable. Getting more education is a great plan as long as you have a clear understanding of how this will help. I'd add that it may help to be open to different types of educational opportunities. Some options may be more costly in energy or resources than others. So for example, professional development training, online certifications, and skill-specific classes can be helpful for recent graduates and require less investment than enrolling in a new degree. I mention this because it is, of course, important to be wary of unnecessary added debt. So in short, if you feel equipped and believe it will help you achieve your goals, head on back to school. But going back to school in order to defer entrance into this market isn't the only choice or the best choice. All right, next question. Will it hurt my resume if I take on a temporary position that's different from the field I plan on entering after this crisis is over? So if you're able to work during this time, adding experience to your resume could help improve your resume and give you an advantage in the long run. Showing employers that you were able to adjust to this challenging situation could make your application more competitive. Even if a job is not in your ideal industry, there may be opportunities to develop skills that you can leverage later when applying for future jobs. For example, complex problem solving, remote software use, diffusing conflict, and communication are experiences that could be added to your resume in the future. In short, work experience is always valuable. All right, so now it's time to wrap with some good news. Sometimes when job seekers get hired, they often choose to share their stories with us, and we love to hear those stories. So we hope that when you do find something, you post on our site. I'll conclude by sharing a few of these stories from folks who were hired last week. One job seeker shares, I've been out of a job since last year in September. I got on Indeed, and 2 weeks later, I'm hired. I love how you guys send me updates on my applications to let me know who was viewing them and who wasn't. Someone else said, Indeed was instrumental in helping me find this job. During my job search, I was able to specifically focus on jobs that matched my skill set, my passion, and my strengths. In a 4-week period, I interviewed in 2 different career paths and was able to choose the best for me. And finally, this one makes me happy. I also have littles, but I can now support my 3-year-old daughter financially. Thank you. Thank you to these folks who were able to find their jobs and the employers, and congratulations to all of you. We hope you will be sharing your own story too. So, all right, that's it for the live stream. Thank you again for tuning in. Let us know if this was helpful by commenting below, or you can like and subscribe. And if you know of someone who would find this information useful, please consider sharing it with them and join us next week for another update. We hope to see you soon.